Have you ever poured your entire soul into someone, believing every promise only to have your world shattered by a single, undeniable truth? I have, and this is my story. It started like a movie. Sarah and I met in college. She was the brilliant, funny girl in my literature class, the one who made even Shakespeare sound exciting. We were inseparable. We built a life together, brick by brick, laugh by laugh. We got married on a sunny afternoon, surrounded by everyone we loved. I thought we had it all, a future as bright as that day. But shadows have a way of creeping in, even on the sunniest of days. The change was subtle at first. Late nights at the office became more frequent. Her phone, once left casually on the counter, was now always in her pocket, screen down. When I'd ask about her day, her answers became vague. Just a series of fine and tiring. The easy laughter that once filled our home was replaced by a tense silence. I tried to talk to her, to bridge the growing gap between us. I'd asked, "Sarah, is everything okay? You seem distant." She'd always have an excuse. "It's just work, Mark. I'm so stressed." I wanted to believe her. I desperately wanted to believe that the woman I loved was just overwhelmed, not drifting away. Then came the first major crack in our foundation. A friend of mine saw her not at a late-night work meeting, but at a cozy, candlelit restaurant with another man. My friend said they were laughing, their heads close together. It looked intimate. When I confronted her, the dam broke. Tears streamed down her face as she admitted it. She'd been feeling neglected, lonely. She swore it was a mistake, a one-time thing that meant nothing. She said his name was Alex, a colleague from a different department. My heart felt like it had been ripped from my chest. But looking at her, sobbing on our living room floor, I saw the woman I had promised to love in sickness and in health. I thought about our years together, the memories we'd built. Could I throw all that away? I made a decision. I chose to forgive. I chose to fight for us. I told her, "We can fix this, Sarah. We can go to counseling. We just have to be honest with each other from now on. No more secrets." She looked at me with such relief, such gratitude. She promised to change, to cut off all contact with him, to recommit to us. And for a while, it seemed like she did. Things got better. We started going on dates again, just like we used to. We talked more, really talked. The old Sarah, my Sarah, seemed to be back. The tension in our home dissolved, replaced by a fragile hope. I started to trust again. I let my guard down, believing we had weathered the storm. I felt proud of us, of our strength to overcome such a betrayal. I truly believed we were on the path to healing, stronger than ever. But trust, once broken, is like a shattered mirror. Even if you piece it back together, you can still see the cracks. The relapse was even more subtle than the first time. It was in the small things. A new, complex password on her phone. A sudden interest in a fitness class she'd never mentioned before. That familiar, guarded look in her eyes when I'd ask a simple question. A cold dread started to pool in my stomach. Was I being paranoid? Was the trauma of the past making me see ghosts where there were none? I told myself I was overthinking it. I had to trust her. We had promised. Moment of truth came on a quiet Tuesday evening. Sarah was in the shower, and her phone, left charging on the nightstand, buzzed. It was an instinctive, gut-wrenching feeling. I told myself not to look. It would be a violation of the new trust we were building. But the buzzing continued, and a name flashed on the screen. My hands were shaking, but I couldn't stop myself. I knew her new password. I'd seen her type it in a few times, a combination of her mother's birthday and our old anniversary. A cruel irony. I opened her chat history. My world didn't just crack this time. It imploded. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It had never stopped. The messages were a dagger to the heart. "Can't wait to see you tonight." One from him read. Her reply, "Me too. Mark thinks I'm at yoga. He believes everything I say." Another from her, "I miss you." Being with him feels like a lie. They were planning a weekend trip, using another work conference as her excuse. They talked about a future together. They talked about me, pitying me, laughing at how clueless I was. Every word was a fresh wound. She hadn't just lied. She had constructed an entirely different life behind my back. The counseling sessions, the promises, the "I love yous" whispered in the dark. It was all a performance. I wasn't her husband. I was her alibi, her safety net, while she explored a life with someone else. The woman I was trying so hard to forgive didn't exist. She was a character Sarah was playing, and I was the fool in her audience. I sat there on the edge of our bed, the phone in my hand, feeling nothing but a vast, hollow emptiness. The sound of the shower stopped. I heard the bathroom door open. She walked into the room, wrapped in a towel, humming a cheerful tune. She stopped dead when she saw my face, when she saw her phone in my hand. The color drained from her cheeks. There was no need for questions, no room for confrontation. The truth was laid bare between us, ugly and undeniable. In that moment, I didn't feel anger or sadness. I felt a strange sense of clarity. The fight was over. There was nothing left to save. I just looked at her and said, "I know, Sarah. I know everything." Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. Walking away from the life I thought I had was excruciating, but staying would have been a slow, soul-crushing demise. Healing is a long road, and some scars never fully fade. But I'm learning to rebuild, to trust myself again, and to know that I deserve honesty and a love that doesn't hide in the shadows. My story isn't about the bitterness of betrayal. It's about the strength found in reclaiming your own truth, even when it hurts. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you are not alone and you have the strength to heal. If this resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories. Your support means the world. Take care.